What's up, everybody? I'm Casey Gilman, Church Administration here at Emmaus, and you are?
I'm Brian Holt. I'm the pastor here at Emmaus.
Perfect. So today we're going to talk about the Elders and Deacons Retreat that y'all had yesterday for the 5th time today.
Yeah.
This
Yes, it's been a very fun experience. I brought Gloria, our puppy, to work so that Rebecca could work and not have to leave her in her crate all day. But she's really made it challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we seem ever so slightly distracted, we're going to try not to hear in the background. So
we tried it with her in the office, and that was disastrous. And now we put her down the hall in a room, and hopefully she won't tear the room up or bark too loud.
Yes. That's the goal.
Yeah.
All right. So how was the retreat? Where did y'all go?
It was a great retreat. We went to Bear Creek Lake State Park in beautiful Cumberland, Virginia.
Beautiful.
And in the past, we've done like a 2-day retreat or a 3-day retreat. This year, we decided to condense it just for scheduling purposes. And we try to do these every year, early spring. So this is probably the 7th, maybe, retreat that we've done.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's always a great time.
Yeah.
And so it was a little. I like to have the couple days because we usually have like games and stuff in the evenings. We really kind of bond together. But this one was also it was good. So
yeah, it's awesome. So what did y'all talk about? What was kind of the goal of the day?
All right. So several years ago when I first started doing these, it was in the board of stewards, and I was at a conference. And I got to talk to this author and pastor named Thabiti Antabwile. Not sure if I said that right, but I asked him, I'm taking our leadership on a retreat. What should I do? And he said, focus on relationships. Yeah. And I think that's something I've really taken to heart. And I found it to be very, some incredible advice, because anything we do as a church, we're not a normal business, right? We're in a business. You don't need like deep relationships with the people you work with, right? Because you're running a business. But church and the life of Christians is 100% relational,
right?
So what we do to kind of try to accomplish that is we take some time at the beginning. First things first, kind of. We start off with some worship and prayer, and just kind of singing a few songs and spending some time praying, just asking God to be with us and really help us in that time. Pray for specific needs for those who are there, because they're away from their normal lives, and people, it's hard to kind of just totally unplug and do this. So that can be challenging. So we prayed for some folks, also some other needs in the church.
Yeah.
And then kind of just set the tone. And then we spend, I think we spent an hour and a half. Every person shared their personal testimony, kind of how God saved them and where kind of what God has done in their lives. And that's always, it really, I think it changes the dynamic of how you interact with people, because in a group you can make a lot of assumptions about somebody, and you may not know like what the path they've walked to get to where they are has been, and somehow opening up and sharing some of those things, there's an emotional connection that happens that is really kind of foundational for a group that meets together and kind of discusses what's going on in the church and tries to serve the body. For those people to be kind of united together is very important. So, so we took some time and walked through that. And then after that, we discussed the vision statement.
Okay.
And that was a really helpful thing, because our vision statement is we're making disciples who walk with Christ in community, grounded in the Word, and that's taken from Luke, the story of the Emmaus Road. And when you have a statement like that, defining terms is really important. So we talked through what does it mean to disciple? What does community mean? What does it mean to walk with Christ? And it's talking through that helps us all to understand, oh, this is what we mean here at Emmaus.
Yeah.
And so we had, pretty extensive discussions on that. And then we spent time talking about how we as leaders like work that out.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that look like at Emmaus, which is kind of a philosophy of ministry topic. So I don't know if you've been at a church that I don't know. I don't want to throw any churches that you've been on the bus, but there are numbers of churches that are kind of top-down models of programs. You know what I mean? Like where,
yeah.
So let's pretend I'm a pastor at a church.
Okay, I have to use my imagination for that.
And someone comes to me and says, "Hey, here's an idea for something the church should do." Some churches' understanding is that means that I, as the pastor, need to organize and administrate and do all the things necessary to make that program or that event take place.
Right.
That is not what we believe.
Yeah.
It's not how we function. I believe that there's lots of downsides to that. That can be another video.
Yeah.
But we see the goal of leadership, especially the elders, is one of vision casting, where here's the vision that we believe God has kind of brought to us in a sense. And it's not, I think it's a vision that could apply for any church. So it's not like this is some kind of unique thing. But we're going to hold out these values, the value of community, the value of being in the Word, of value of walking with Christ. And our goal and our hope is that if there's things that would help aid in that the teams of the church and the individuals of the church would feel the responsibility to say, how am I going to do that, one, in my life, and how am I going to help my brothers and sisters do that? Right. So do you see the difference?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So the top-down model is the church creates all the programs, and then we try to plug people into programs.
Yeah.
The way I view it is the church holds out vision and then helps people to work that vision out in their own lives.
Right. Yeah.
So that's kind of, we discussed that because as there's a group of 10 people in the elders and deacons, and we've all had different experiences of how that gets worked out in the church.
Right.
And so we had a long discussion on that and what that looks like here at Emmaus. So that was a big aspect of it. And then we spent some time discussing setting some goals for the year.
Okay.
And really what we did in all of this was not making like decisions about the church. We were making decisions about how we function as leaders.
Yeah.
It's kind of there's an old adage about working on the business versus working in the business. So we were working on the church, not working in the church.
Right.
In the sense of getting in the weeds of things. We were kind of talking, all right, how do we want to function to embody the values that we want to see?
Yeah.
So made some goals for the year and kind of set some of those things that we're going to do differently in how we relate and just kind of to work more towards continuing to develop our relationships together. And then also to like, hopefully the goal is to serve the church better as well.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Good stuff.
Yeah. Thank you. And there's also there was lots of conversations about what elders do. So
yeah,
we'll do a video about that too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing. Sounds like it was definitely a really beneficial time every year.
Yeah, it has been good, and every time I come away with like such gratitude for the people who God has brought to help lead this church.
Yeah.
It really is pretty amazing. I think there were four people who were there that have been at Emmaus longer than me.
Wow.
So that means, in my mind, what that says is that these people they're not here because of me.
Yeah.
You know, they're actually they're called by God to serve Emmaus,
Right.
and that is such a, I don't know, it's a very encouraging thing
Right.
that you know
Yeah.
that just the faithfulness and kind of the loyalty they have to this local body is pretty awesome.
That is awesome. There's some really great people here.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing, and let us
Absolutely.
know if you have any questions or any thoughts. We'll try to get back to you.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
And just a FYI, there is a dog. Whoop. Underneath, well, all over the place. Can you say hi?
She's making it a little bit complicated today.
Making it challenging. Right. But if you hear random noises, that's what it is.
It's hanging off.
Was that as leaders, we're not a good. Okay. Thought that was gonna help grow in our relationships with each other.
Mm-hmm.
As a group. Her favorite thing to do is chew on my.
Can't even tell.
This is Gloria, by the way. She's here while Rebecca works.
Just hanging out,
Just
showing
hanging
on
out.
everything she sees.
She's fun.